Heart disease has been this country's leading cause of death since 1921. It's more than 100 years. Think about that. One of the leading nonprofits, pushing for more awareness and education, has long been the American Heart Association. And the issue has hit very close to home for us at NBC4, as both of our 5 p.m. anchors now have found themselves with heart conditions. So I have Jennifer Bullock here with me, and we're obviously talking about your colleague, or your co-host, I should say, Jared Smalley. And so, Jen, this is something that has hit very close to home. So share your story with us first, Jen, for those who aren't aware of it.
Yeah, so for me personally, since I was about 5 years old, I was diagnosed with, it's called SVT, but also AFib. So I've just got some, weird functioning things with my heart, and my rhythm's off every now and then. I have to be very careful when it comes to physical exercise. But, considering that it's something I've been dealing with since I was 5, it can be pretty debilitating at times, especially for someone who's really active and outgoing. And so I've been on medication, something I've really had to monitor throughout the last 30 years almost. And then my mom also deals with AFib, but that led to a heart attack for her 2 years ago, the one that they call a widowmaker. Thankfully, she survived it, but it's something that impacts my family directly each and every day.
And then we obviously know Jared went through something more recently with the stroke that he had, and you guys both found out that you actually had the same exact procedure?
Yeah, so we had very, very similar procedures to correct different issues. He had a hole in his heart. He had a couple of strokes as well, but we had the same kind of procedure. We had catheters going in through our legs, and I had to have some pathways burned away. He had to have a hole repaired in his heart. But we had the same exact experience, that we were kind of awake for surgery and remember everything that took place. So it's one of those common things that not a lot of people have in common, but he and I weirdly are able to share our stories about it and say, yeah, I can relate to exactly what you're talking about.
And both like two different kind of experiences as far as you're a young woman, he's a young man, both physically active. So I feel like a lot of times people get this kind of connotation, like everything, right? You think heart disease is impacting the older people. You hear a lot about men struggling with it. So you both bring a very fresh perspective, I would say, to who this can impact, and kind of get people to be more aware of that.
And that's just it, that's what we're really trying to do, is put a face to the issue and let people know heart disease does not discriminate. Heart issues don't discriminate. It can affect anyone, any color, any age. I was 5 years old when I was first diagnosed, and I know that there are kids even younger than that who are dealing with issues each and every day. So we're really just trying to tell people it doesn't matter if you're incredibly active. It doesn't matter if you're super young, if you've never had any issues before. This could impact you, and even if it's not you directly, it could affect someone you know.
And so you are jointly emceeing this year's Heart Walk, American Heart Association. So this is the second year you've been involved, Jen. Tell us about the walk and kind of what that day is like.
It's such an incredible event. It really is. You see an array of people, like we said, all kinds of backgrounds, all kinds of issues, all survivors you get to talk with, people who are just beginning their heart health journey. But it's incredible to see everyone come together and say, you're supported. We want to come together for this common cause, figure out how we can support this organization so that anyone else who in the future may have an issue or who may be struggling, they don't have to go through it alone. They have those resources available to them. So we have a great time. There's music, there's a lot of information available, and then of course we have a nice walk, and we're hoping that we have some really good weather this year.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Last year was the first time in person since the pandemic, so we're excited to be back out there and to get really to meet people and to hear those stories in person.
And what do you wish, Jen, that more people knew? Obviously, we know heart disease doesn't discriminate, as you mentioned, but is there something out there, or maybe just for people to be more aware of certain numbers, right, and what's going on?
And I think that's just it. What I want is for people to listen to their bodies. If your body's telling you something, don't brush it off. Don't think, I'm just tired because I worked a long week, or I'm chasing my kids around, or I'm a certain age, so maybe, I just need to slow down. If something doesn't feel right, advocate for yourself. I would rather you go to the doctor and them tell you it's nothing than for you to have a serious issue and find out too late. So be your own advocate, speak up, there's nothing that's wrong with saying, I just need a little bit of help. You know, make
Right.
sure that you reach out for that.
Or I need a second opinion.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
I need to keep pushing.
Yeah.
All right, I want to let people know then McPherson Commons, it's this Saturday, August 20th. Event kicks off around 8:45. You can register there, of course, but you can also go to heart.org/CentralOH Walk for all the details there as well, Jen. So we are so happy you're doing so well,
Thank
and
you.
Jared, and we'll see you this weekend at the walk.
We'll see you there.